was reading this rant the other day, and this person was ranting about fake news. And you remember how like fake news became a big deal with the election? And
it was a big deal.
I thought it was funny because, you know, the media did not predict who was going to win the U.S. election. And for about 5 minutes, they did some soul searching about how could we have missed this?
Exactly.
And then 5 minutes later, they said the cause was fake news. It wasn't us, it was fake news. And I do believe fake news probably played into it somewhere. But I do think probably as the media, a little soul searching wouldn't hurt.
Well, the problem is that we need to pause and ponder, you know, what's the implication for us? Because do we just take every word for granted? But people need to be able to trust, and yet we can't always.
So this rant I read about fake news was angry because they said a lot of Christians buy into fake news, that we don't really check our sources. Many times we post things that we're not sure if it's true. And he says, you know, it is serious. This isn't a small thing, because if people can't believe what we're posting and what we're saying about other things, then when we talk about the most important life issues, about God's love for the world and God's love for you, then people aren't going to believe us.
They're not going to believe it. They're not going to buy in and say, is it true? Can I really believe that?
They're going to say that we don't have credibility.
Yeah.
So the author gave us some tips that I thought I would pass on. And obviously he's saying, you know, you got to be rigorous in your fact checking. He says, if you need to find out if it's true. So if you see a story, check it out, Google it. He says if it's found only on one source or a couple off-brand sources that tend to say the same viewpoint, it's almost certainly not true.
And this seems so obvious, but I'm amazed all the time when people just will repost it or retweet it, and it's like it's gospel.
Or pass on the email. And I think sometimes we're just busy and maybe we get lazy. And I'll often say when someone sends that to me, I'll send them a link back. I'll just Google urban legend and the title of the article. And then I'll send them a link that says that's an urban legend and it's not actually true. And I just gently try to say, hey, you know, you just check, maybe you tell your friends now that this isn't true, because I don't want this gossip to go on.
I actually had it happen 2 days ago to me.
Really?
Somebody was in a church. They talked to somebody in front of them and say, hey, is Sherbino Facebooking all these people? And they just figured it was happening. And you know what? I've never Facebooked the person in my life.
Oh my goodness. So there you go.
Do you know what Facebook is?
Yeah, you know, I've heard of it. I'm sure a few people there, they talk to me on Facebook.
But
Thank
that's
you.
a minor example.
But true. And so he says basically if it's not true, don't post it. If you can't find out if it's true, don't post it. And if it is true and helpful, post it. So, you know, I guess a little tongue-in-cheek, but I think there was some frustration there with some things he'd seen that weren't true. So we just need to be people of truth.